The Galactic Archive on Station Kepler 442 had stood for 12 centuries, a testament to the collective's commitment to preserving knowledge across 47 star systems. Its crystalline spires rose like frozen lightning against the black canvas of space, each one housing millions of texts from civilizations both thriving and extinct. Aubrey Martinez pressed her nose against the observation deck's viewport, her breath fogging the glass. At 13, she was the youngest human ever granted a research pass to the archive, a feat that had everything to do with her photographic memory and her habit of correcting xenolinguists 3 times her age. "You're drooling on the window," Carson said, adjusting his glasses. At 15, her brother had the same insatiable curiosity, but considerably more social awareness. He'd only come along because their parents insisted siblings should stick together, even 300 light-years from Earth. "I'm appreciating history," Aubrey retorted, finally pulling back. "Do you know how many extinct languages are in there? The Vexthari alone had 47 dialects before the silence." Carson sighed. "Yes, you've told me. 17 times since we docked." The archive's custodian, a being called Thexmore, whose species resembled a tree made of liquid mercury, greeted them at the entrance. Its voice resonated like wind chimes in a storm. "Young humans, welcome. Your clearance grants access to levels 1 through 5. The youth sections. Please respect the sacred silence of study." Aubrey's disappointment must have shown because Thexmore's form rippled, the equivalent of a smile. "Child, 5 levels contain more knowledge than your species has accumulated in its entire existence. It should suffice." It didn't. For 3 days, Aubrey devoured texts on quantum mathematics, pre-warp civilizations, and biological diversity across the galaxy. Carson spent his time in the music archives, discovering alien symphonies that made Earth's greatest composers seem quaint. But Aubrey kept noticing the sealed doorways marked with symbols she'd learned to recognize. Restricted. Council authority required. On the 4th day, she found the maintenance shaft. It was hidden behind a display of Thren poetry. Their civilization had collapsed 600 years ago when their sun went supernova. The shaft was meant for repair drones, but Aubrey was small, flexible, and motivated by a curiosity that bordered on compulsion. The restricted section on level 9 smelled different. Older, mustier, like secrets kept too long. The lighting was dimmer here, bioluminescent panels casting everything in shades of blue and purple. Aubrey's heart hammered as she crept between towering shelves of data crystals and actual physical books, some bound in material she couldn't identify. Then she saw it. The book sat alone on a pedestal, encased in a stasis field that shimmered like heat waves. It was bound in something that looked like black leather but shifted colors when she moved her head. Purple, then green, then a shade that hurt to look at. The text on its cover was in Standard Galactic, thankfully. The Resonance Codex, a study of universal frequencies and the awakening forbidden warnings, scrolled in holographic text around the pedestal, property of the Silence Watch. Reading prohibited, mimetic hazard, reality distortion risk. Aubrey should have left, a smart person would have left, but she'd never been good at should. Her fingers, trembling slightly, reached for the stasis field's control panel. It was laughably simple, designed for authorized users who wouldn't expect interference. 3 commands later, the field dissolved like morning mist. The book was warm to the touch, alive almost. She opened it. The text inside wasn't written in any language. It was mathematics, pure and crystalline, but mathematics that moved, that breathed, that sang. Aubrey's eyes widened as she recognized patterns. Quantum harmonics, dimensional fold equations, the underlying structure of space-time itself, expressed as elegant proof. She began to read aloud, unable to help herself. The equations felt right in her mouth, like words she'd always known but forgotten. Her voice gained confidence with each line, each formula a key turning in a cosmic lock. The archive trembled. Reality rippled outward from where she stood. Books rose from shelves, hovering in impossible formations. The air crystallized into geometric patterns, fractals extending into dimensions Aubrey could suddenly perceive. She could see through things now, see the quantum foam underlying existence, see the threads connecting every particle in the universe. "Aubrey!" Carson's voice cut through her trance. He stood in the doorway, eyes wide with terror. Behind him, Thexmore had gone rigid, its liquid form frozen solid, a defense mechanism against mimetic contamination. Aubrey looked down at her hands. They were glowing, leaving trails of light in the air. Mathematical formulas scrolled across her vision, the source code of reality itself. "I can see it all," she whispered. "Carson, I can see everything. The universe is it's just mathematics. Beautiful, perfect mathematics. And humans. Oh God, Carson, we're not supposed to be here. Our existence is a rounding error that consciousness figured out how to exploit. We're a cosmic accident that learned to think." "Put the book down!" Carson shouted. "Whatever it's doing to you, it's not doing anything. It's showing me the truth." Aubrey's smile was radiant and terrible. "Do you know what makes humans special? Every other species in the collective evolved on stable worlds in safe systems. They became intelligent, but they became comfortable. We climbed out of Africa and spread across a death world. We turned obstacles into advantages. We're the only species in recorded history that invented calculus twice, independently, just because we needed to understand the stars." The archive shook harder. Cracks appeared in the crystalline walls, but they weren't damage. They were opening, revealing vistas of other dimensions, other possibilities. "The book isn't forbidden because it's dangerous," Aubrey continued, tears streaming down her glowing face. "It's forbidden because it's a test left by whoever built the archive. They wanted to see which species would find it, read it, and understand." She closed the book. The visions didn't stop. "And Aubrey?" Carson asked, his voice small. "Did we pass?" She looked at him with eyes that held the weight of galaxies. "Carson, we didn't just pass. We're going to change everything." Across the station, alarms began to sound. The silence watch was coming, but Aubrey Martinez, nerdy 13-year-old human girl from a backwater planet called Earth, smiled. She'd just evoked the resonance, and humanity's true place in the cosmos was about to be revealed.